Well, good morning and welcome to our 8:30 streaming show. I'm Mitch Carter. It is Friday, January 30th.
And I'm Casey Mason. Of course, we're going to recap some of the top headlines from today, and then we'll get you on over to meteorologist Arden Gregory with a look at your forecast ahead of the weekend.
And speaking of the weather out there, local street maintenance departments continuing to work around the clock to get all those snowy roads cleared off. In Henderson County, crews say they have cleared 13 routes, which includes some residential areas. They've used almost 500 tons of a salt and sand mix this week alone and are now bringing in even more. Across the river here in Evansville, crews tell us they've spread almost 2,000 tons of salt on roads since it began snowing. They normally, for reference, use around 500 tons during a snow event, so they are comically over their normal amount. Crews say primary and secondary roads are close to done, and now they'll move on to residential areas, places there like subdivisions.
There's no way physically possible, there's no way that we have enough resources to be able to meet all of those calls, but we are taking them and based on the number and the order that they've been received, and we'll try to do as best we can to try to bring some type of relief to some of those side streets.
Evansville Street Maintenance has 8 trucks running right now trying to get into neighborhoods. If you want to call in your street to have it plowed, we have that number for you right now online at 14news.com.
All right, an important heads up for those in Evansville now. Evansville water and sewer utility leaders hope to resume trash and recycling services starting next week. I've been trying to keep you guys up to date on this. Of course, the ongoing weather conditions are what forced them to suspend collections this week. They do say that Republic Services will collect any extra bags, though, that you do have placed next to your cart.
And happening now here, Evansville water and sewer utility crews working on more than a dozen water main breaks across the city. They say it stems from the extreme cold we've experienced here, which causes underground pipes to shrink. Our Gabe Pontones spoke with EWSU officials to learn a little more. Check it out.
Even though last weekend's winter storm is over, the cold is still sticking around. Officials say because of this, water main breaks are on the rise, with at least 7 active boil advisories around the city. They say since the cold started, it's been nonstop.
We've got all of our crews are in the field. They've been basically working around the clock for several days on it. We also have contractors that we call in when we really need something urgently.
They say one of the main issues is that many of the pipes in the city are nearing 100 years old, and years of shrinking and expanding with temperatures is causing them to break. They say depending on the size of the break, fixing it can be a big task, one that involves marking a dig site, dropping water pressure, digging the pipe out, replacing it, and filling the hole back in. Officials say that's why even other areas of the department are stepping in to help.
In an emergency like this, some of our sewer field crews will help out. Now they may not be actually working on the pipe. They may be moving rock for backfilling. They may be helping dig. They may be helping with lots of aspects of it, or helping just moving stuff, being logistical assistance.
Officials say if you see water coming up from the ground, it is likely a main break and should be reported. They also say with the lower temperatures that water will freeze, so people should watch their step and be careful around that area. Officials say they are working as fast as they can, but with so many, they are asking the community for patience.
We understand that it's an inconvenience. We're working as quickly as we can to get them all repaired, but it will take some time. And please be patient. Let us know though if you see anything, or if there's a small leak that's getting bigger. We definitely want to know that.
All right, well, officials say that breaks can also occur when those pipes expand during warmer temperature as well, during those warm temperature swings there. They say they are expecting even more breaks as temperatures continue to climb after the weekend.
Absolutely. We've talked about this here on 14 News. A lot of the pipes here in Evansville over 100 years old, so they see that all the time here as they've kind of gone across the city replacing those as they go. Right now it's 8:33 coming up on 8:34. For those joining us and saying good morning, Cindy, Carol, and Suzanne, appreciate you hopping on with us here for the Friday. Good morning to you guys as well. Of course, you were busy at Disney Ice this morning.
Yeah,
you were out and about.
I was going to say real quick here before we get over to meteorologist Arden Gregory. Did some live hits this morning over at Disney on Ice. It was a fun gig this morning.
It was fun.
Missed you at the desk, but had a good time there at the Ford Center. They've got all kinds of different show times this weekend. It's going to last through Sunday. Tickets still available. A great family-friendly show. I know lots of folks from 14 are going to be heading out with their families this weekend. Just a good show if you're a Disney fan. And we know maybe you're not a fan of ice, but this is a different kind of ice that you can enjoy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Disney on Ice, Ford Center. Go get your tickets, and you guys can see that through Sunday. Lots of different time options.
No doubt. Right now, it is 8:34 here. Stick around, though. After the break, here comes Arden Gregory with a check outside at your Friday weather now, looking ahead to our weekend and early next week.
Stay informed on your local news and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app. On your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app. And stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices.
Good morning, folks. We are still on alert now through Sunday for slick roads and dangerous cold. Now, we did get some additional snow overnight last night and into this morning. That has put just a coating of fresh snow on everything now. So for those of you who haven't been out yet this morning, if you're parked outside, you are going to have to brush a fresh layer of snow off the car, and some of the roads that were clear yesterday may be a little slick today. And we're also concerned about black ice. That really becomes an issue when you have a day like yesterday followed by a day like today. Yesterday, we had a little sun. Our temperatures climbed up to about 30. Some folks even got up to the freezing point at 32, so we did have a bit of a thaw. Conditions improved, but as that snow melted, water ran out into the road. Then when temperatures dropped last night, a lot of that refroze. So we do have patches of black ice out there, and in many situations now a thin layer of snow on top of that ice. So it is dangerous, and that snow was along a cold front that really ushered in another drop in our temperatures. So the tri-state, along with much of the rest of the eastern half of the U.S., under cold alerts once again. We have a cold weather advisory in effect tonight through tomorrow morning. So overnight tonight and into Saturday morning, it is going to get dangerously cold again. That cold front, as I mentioned, did bring us some snow. Some of you are still seeing a few flakes flying right now. This was kind of a thin, broken line of snow showers that just very slowly worked its way from north to south overnight last night. Like I said, not bringing much, but just a dusting to maybe an inch of fresh snow on top of all the snow that is still out there right now. Down to just a few flurries, mainly in Hopkins, Muhlenberg, and Ohio counties right now. These snow showers continuing to push off to the southeast over the next couple of hours. And in general, the rest of today, tonight, and tomorrow will be mostly cloudy, but mainly dry. We may get a stray flurry here or there, but really we're not expecting any additional snow accumulation as we move forward with the rest of our weekend. It is going to get cold, though. I mentioned that cold front that swung through, still sitting in the lower 20s in Greenville and Dundee, where that cold front's just reaching you. But as you get across Illinois and Indiana, you can really see where that cold air has really taken hold. Earlier this morning at 5 a.m., we were sitting in the mid-teens in many of those locations. So we've dropped several degrees just in the past 2 or 3 hours as that cold front has moved through. And when you factor in the wind, it feels even colder than that, with a wind chill of about 2 below right now in Evansville. Now, as we move forward with the rest of our day, we will get a little bit of sun, not much, but as the sun gets overhead here, those temperatures will rebound. It's still going to be cold, though. At best, our highs are only going to make it into the lower 20s this afternoon. Some of us may only make it into the upper teens, and that wind chill will only make it to about 10. So we'll spend most of the day in the teens with wind chills in the single digits, just briefly warming into the lower 20s with wind chills maybe into the lower teens this afternoon. Overnight tonight, it gets dangerously cold.